Sobering Manchester United fans. Sobering. But first, as always, ay caramba. Hope everyone's well. Christ, last night was a sobering reality. So, do you know something? We've had nothing but positivity for the last 2 weeks, I'd say, being on tour. Everyone said we're looking so much better. Everything seems to be clicking. And then last night, bam, we were hit with sobering realization that there is still a lot of work to be done for Manchester United if we want to progress and move forwards as the team that we want to be at, where we want to be at. But first, of course, as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 1K, and better believe it, I want that so bad. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification, lets you know when we are live, which, let's be honest, it's every night at 9 o'clock. You should know this. A couple of hellos. Hello to Luke Chapman. Luke's very in on Ethan Wheatley going to Northampton Town today. Look, it's good. It's good development for a youngster that I don't think will get much playing time at Manchester United. And actually, I'll go as far to say I don't think Ethan Wheatley's the future of Manchester United either. Joel, well, I hope you're well. Do you know how much we sold? He's gone on loan. Don't worry, buddy. Evening, Chappie. Evening, Ben. Evening, Steve, of course. And of course, Donna, hope you're well. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, guys, today we've had some words come out from Barada, and I really wanted to have a look at it. And I wanted to discuss it with you guys. Andy says, after last night, I think a midfielder is more important than a striker. And wahaha's in the chat. And Donna is so right, people. 45 new subscribers to hit 1,000. It's free to subscribe and helps the channel grow. So make sure you've done it. If Donna Potts is telling you to do it, then you must do it. And good to see you, Anthony. Now, the sobering realization. Before we go through it, here were some words that Barada had to say. He said, the mood has been very good. The culture, the standards, the values. We are trying to ensure that we create a team spirit that allows the players to compete at the highest level. Nice. He's been very good with words, this bloke. We have very high standards. Ruben is very clear about that, and so is Jason. It is something we want to see with the players, with the staff, with everyone, because what we want to do is to win and to start winning titles as soon as possible. Of course, adding players helps. We have seen the arrival of Bryan, Cunha and Diego Leon, and they've adapted really well. All of the signs are positive, and we are cautiously optimistic. We hope we are going to have a great season. Yeah, I love optimism. I do love optimism, and I'm not sitting here tonight saying that it's all bad, but I think last night we were hit with that biggest dose of reality that we needed it. We absolutely needed it, because I did see a couple of United fans start to put comments on Twitter that, you know, that's it, we're back. It's the glory days are coming, and it's like, hang on a second. Okay, we're playing a Bournemouth side that's lost all their players. We played West Ham, who didn't have a midfield. We needed to just chill a little bit. And it was good. Don't get me wrong. There were some really, really key and positive moments in the preseason tour. There really were. But last night proved one thing. Ruben Amorim's style does not work if he doesn't have the specialists playing where they should be playing. And by that, I mean chucking a Cunha or a Bryan up top. It doesn't work. They are ineffective. Chucking Dallo at left wing back. It doesn't work. He is not a left wing back. He is a right wing back, or a right back if you want to get pedantic. Those two positions last night straight away showed our frailties. I thought we looked really, really poor. The passing was just non-existent. I felt at times we were rushing it. We were panicking on the ball. But then if you rewind back to players actually playing in their proper formation, I kind of felt like this is what we should be seeing. So the bit I'm taking from this that really worries me is we don't have the squad to play this formation at the moment. And I'm not sitting here being Mr. Negative Pants. I'm certainly not doing that. But I think a dose of reality is what we all need at the moment. So I'm feeling a little deflated after last night. When I looked back at it, because, you know, I like to rewatch the games back, I thought maybe I'm looking at things the wrong way. Maybe I'm being a bit overcritical. But I don't think I am. I genuinely don't think I am. We need a number 9. It is the most obvious thing. And Rasmus has done quite well. You know, he scored a couple against Bournemouth, put himself about against West Ham. But I just kind of feel like last night proved everything for me. If you haven't got the person up top that's holding the ball up there and doing the job for you, that's where you lose it from the front. The pressing was still there, but how many times last night did we see Cunha disappeared out of the game? Bryan, for about 20 minutes, disappeared out of the game. Bruno was ineffectual last night. I think the one shining star from this tour has been Dorgu. I genuinely mean that. I mean that. A lot of people have given this kid stick, and remember, he's 20 years old, but it showed a positive for me last night. Dorgu has come on leaps and bounds, but it also showed a negative. If this kid gets injured, Diego Leon isn't ready to do it yet. And I love Leon's attitude. He is a rascal, but he's not what we need right now. And my worry is the longer we get, and actually, do you know something, Anthony? You're spot on there. How could I forget Yoro? Yoro's been class. If we lose Dorgu at any point in this season, I think our defence falls to pieces. I genuinely do, because the transition moving forward with a Dorgu and a Diallo either side was night and day. It was night and day. So, am I being pessimistic? You guys in the chat tell me. I don't want you to feel like I'm being a misery guts tonight, but there has to be realization here. Hi, Nick. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. And yes, as Ben says, hit those likes and subscribe if you haven't already. 18 in the chat. Make sure you liked. Make sure you do so. And then we got Santos says, I feel a bit for heaven yesterday. The lad really wants to do well for Amorim. Do you know something, Santos? I haven't got any concerns about heaven, because heaven isn't, again, I'm going to say this, he isn't what we need right now. I think this kid, I've said this all along, I've stayed so true with this, he is going to have a future. However, he is not the centre-back that starts the first game in the season against Arsenal. He is not the centre-back that plays 30 games in this team as a starter. He is a centre-back who should be allowed to grow, allowed to develop, and be pulled out of games when he makes rash decisions. There were so many times where I saw him the last couple of times, he just looked nervous. A couple of times he ran the ball out of play. I just think it's nerves, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This kid, and remember, he is a kid, he will go on to do special things for Manchester United. I genuinely believe that. Wahaha says, supposedly Newcastle pushing for Šeško tonight. News. I'll talk about Šeško shortly. I hope he was testing things he won't be using in the season. Yeah, yes and no with that, Anthony, because he should already know. Like, Amorim should already know his first 11. And I'll be honest with you, at this point in time, I can't sit here as a Manchester United fan and look at you lovely people and say, I know the 11 he's going to start with against Arsenal. I just can't do it. There's still so many question marks. Tom Clash says, bro, what is guaranteed is we can't finish lower than last season. Well, to coin Mick McCarthy, we can, but we won't. Santos says, yeah, once again showed that Dallo on the left is a disaster and nothing comes from him there. And I feel for Dallo, because Dallo isn't a left wing back. Dallo is at his best when he is running down that right-hand side. We saw him do it when he come on against Leeds. We saw him sort of do it when he come on. I just feel like him as a left wing-back, you're clipping his wings. He needs to be able to utilise his ability down that right. And what's wrong with having Dallo and Diallo fighting for that right wing-back? Like, that's good. We want that. But left wing-back, nah, can't be doing that. Mark says, fantastic analysis, Dan. We have been much more productive with Cunha at 10, Højlund at 9, and Dorgu at left wing-back. Exactly that. Exactly that. We've seen a lot more from Cunha when he plays in that 10 role, because he wants to be on the ball more. Last night, I felt with him being up the top, that's where we failed, because he was having to drop back to try and get the ball. Then you saw Bryan try and push off him. They're not strikers. And I hope people who were watching this last night, who had been saying for such a long time, we can play Bryan up top, we can play Cunha up top. I hope last night was a realization that that is not what they've been brought into this team to do. Tom Clash says, Ndalo is shit at playing left back. Dorgu is better. Chappie says, if Amorim can't see it's not working and won't change his mind, we're in trouble. I don't think he's the right man. Wow. Okay. Somebody's already not happy with Amorim. Dorgu followed by Heaton. I've got stuff to say about Heaton in a minute. Yoro was always under pressure but did well. Yoro played this tour like he was 28. And what I mean by that is he looked so assured in that centre-back role, picking the ball up. I love the fact that every time he picks that ball up, the first thing he's thinking is how I bring this ball out of defence and how I start an attack. That is what we want. That's what we need. We need a centre-back that has the balls to do that. Harry Maguire to a certain extent can, but we know with Harry Maguire, he picks the ball up and his first thought is, I'm lumping it. And yes, Yoro was hitting a few diags, but there were so many times where he picked the ball up and he would bring it out of defence and start an attack. Tom Nash is absolutely right. We need a holding midfielder. What we got here? Anthony says we have 4 or 5 positions with huge potential and backups for those positions, but we have so many pieces still missing. And look, let's be honest here. Manchester United were always going to have that problem. This was never going to get fixed this window. It wasn't. We weren't going to get it all done in one window. For the first step, we don't have the money, depending on which reports that you want to believe. We're still trying to get rid of some of these people who are stealing a living from our club. So it was never, ever, ever going to happen full bore in the first season. Now, what I will say to that, there have been positives. There have been. There has been moments in our play where I've looked at us and I've gone, we wouldn't have been anywhere near doing this last season. The pressing from the front was really, really positive. I think the fitness levels look so much better than they have in pre-season for such a long time. There have been so many pre-seasons I've watched us and I thought, we look absolutely shagged here. How do we look so knackered when we've just come back from pre-season? So there are some positive spins on this. Steve says, positives, Dan. There we go. Took the words right out of my mouth. I like the Meatloaf song, Heaven Can Wait. Yes, it can. And welcome, Nave. No, you've not missed anything yet, mate. We are just doing a debrief of what the tour has been. And you know something? I've got to be honest with you. Andy, against West Ham, I saw this guy and I thought, this is the man we signed. This is the person in that midfield 2 with Kobe Mainu that I look at and go, yes, now we are ready to push it. Now we are ready to do something with a midfield 2. Last night, I looked at him and I thought, you've got to be one of the worst midfielders I've seen playing for United when you're playing like that. And I know, and welcome Moxie. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. One of the OGs. And I know Moxie is a big fan of Ugarte and wants to give him the chance. But I watched it last night. I was not impressed. He looked so nervous bringing that ball out of play. He kept losing the ball. His second touch was always trying to keep the ball under control from miscontrolling it. I genuinely didn't enjoy watching Ugarte, and I'm absolutely terrified if he starts against Arsenal. I'll say it. I genuinely mean that. We don't seem to have that midfield 2 sewn up, because let's not forget that we have got Bruno Fernandes that is probably going to go into that midfield 2. Now, Bruno and Mainu, it can't work. It can't work. There's no defensive. There's no defensive thinking there. Okay, Ugarte, I don't trust him. Casemiro is too old. So what else do we do? At the moment, I feel like it's going to be like a hot knife through butter. If whoever we play in that midfield, Manchester United, I would say now, above goalkeeper, that's our weakest position. Midfield. I genuinely mean that. I think that's our weakest position. Absolutely our weakest position. MK Photography says, York is the dog's bollocks like a class Rio. Don't forget Martinez. He's due back and needs a place. Martinez isn't that far off. Martinez is up in his training day by day. But here's my problem with Martinez. And here's my problem with us rushing him back. How many times have we seen Martinez come back, put in a silly tackle, and ends up out for weeks and weeks and weeks? We need to make sure that Martinez is absolutely fit as a fiddle. He has to be. We can't have any of this rushing him back. He plays 2 games and then he's missing for another 10. Luke Shaw's not the answer, by the way. Luke Shaw's done okay. He's done okay, but Luke Shaw is not the answer at left-sided centre-back. And this is my question. Who is Ruben Amorim's back 3 to play Arsenal? Like, who is it? Who is it? Because at the moment, I'd say Yoro, absolutely. I would say Maguire over De Ligt. And then the left-sided, I can't tell you. I don't know. You cannot, and I hope he doesn't, you cannot play Maguire and De Ligt together. It just won't work. They don't have the pace to do it. You can play Maguire or De Ligt in the middle of the back 3 and have 2 pacey options either side. But if you're playing a Maguire and a De Ligt against Arsenal, they will get ripped to pieces. And that is a sobering thought for me. That is a sobering thought. Like I said, there's been so many positivities, so many, but there's a lot of concerns. There is a lot of concerns. So I want to know what you guys think about who is your back three for the Arsenal game. Let me get through these comments. And I want to see who your back three is for that Arsenal game. Moxie says, last night highlighted the importance of us getting a CDM who can fit straight in along with a goalkeeper, even ahead of the Šeško deal if necessary. Still rather have Watkins anyway. Right, I tell you what. Let me put this to you. We haven't had a poll for a couple of nights. Free vote. Right, there's 3 things to vote for. What position is more important now? Simple as that. What position is more important now? Striker. Midfield. Goalkeeper. 3 things to choose from there. What position is more important now? Striker, midfield, or goalkeeper? Have at it, guys. What else have we got here? Santos says, frustrating that Rasmus has the right profile for this front three. Cunha and Mbeumo and Bruno, but his outcome is poor to say avoiding shite. Okay. Steve says, we've just got far too many players down that won't fit this system. I'm sorry if I was in charge, a lot needs to go. And you know what? This is the problem though, guys. Steve has hit the nail on the fucking head there. We have got too many players that aren't good enough to play in this system and, dare I say, play for Manchester United. Like when I said that last night was a sobering reality, I meant it. It absolutely was a sobering reality. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of answers we need. A lot of questions we need answers for here. And I feel like they have to now sort this out. The players that want to leave, they need to be getting rid of them now. If there's no future here, get rid of them. Ndidi says, Tonk Nash, no, we don't want Ndidi. Don't want Ndidi. Yoro is the dog's bollocks says, I think I've done that one. Moxie says, Ugarte has actually lost me a bit on this tour, Dan. He is looking like he needs another 6 to help him out. Sick of saying about Douglas Luiz. And this is the thing, though, Moxie. I agree with you. I agree with you. I genuinely do. This is the issue we have now, is you've got Ugarte who joined last season. And if it was up to me, if this was easy enough to do, if we had Chelsea levels of fucking selling players, Ugarte would be gone. I'd get rid of him. I'd say after this tour, it ain't working. We've played 3 well, actually, do you know something? No, fucking hell. We've played 4 Premier League sides. And Ugarte's looked poor in, I'd say, 2 of the games. Honestly, I worry about him. And Anthony, you're so right. If we could do it, it'd be Yoro, and Yoro. Mark Radley says, did you see the news about Šeško from Craig Hope in the Mail? I've seen bits on Šeško, but I'll be honest with you, I've got my own opinions on Šeško, and I may be horribly wrong about this, but I just feel like he's been waiting for United to come back. I feel like he's been waiting for United to come back to actually be able to talk to him. We're out in America at the moment. If he wanted to go to Newcastle straight away, this would have been done. And I've got more to talk about on Šeško in a bit. Shaw, De Ligt, Yoro versus Arsenal, says Ben. Okay, Shaw, De Ligt, and Yoro. Moxie says, I'd go Maz, Maguire, and Yoro if Mazraoui is fit. Well, this is the other thing. What the fuck's happened to Mazraoui? Like, the guy's been injured the entire tour. Did he start against West Ham? Well, no, it was against Leeds, I think, wasn't it? And then we haven't seen him since. Yoro, De Ligt, and Heaven, says Andy. I'm not sure about Heaven, you know, mate. I ain't sure about Heaven. I think this kid's going to be he's going to be quality, but for me, I think Heaven needs to be a player that we introduce. I've not been over the top impressed with him. I'm not there with him. Tom Nash says it'll be Shaw, Maguire, and De Ligt or Yoro. I think you're probably somewhere near there. Yoro, Maguire, and Shaw, says Wahaha. I think if I had to pick at the moment, I think that is your starting 3. Oh, where is it? It's there. I think that is your starting 3. What Wahaha has said there. All 3, says Chappie. Yoro, De Ligt, and Martinez are fit against Arsenal, Nick, but he won't be. We're not going to get. Martinez won't be fit for another 4 or 5 weeks at least yet. Heaven, De Ligt, and Yoro. A lot of people saying Heaven, which surprises me. Dallo is so passionate about United, but just not good enough. Desperate for a midfielder, by the way. Well, Peter Reds, I remember there's somebody. Do you remember? I don't know if anyone recalls this. Fred. Oh, he runs. You know, we love Fred because he runs. He actually your fucking job, mate. And it's like, yeah, you can be passionate, but you need to have the ability. A lot of players, I'm not saying Delo is one of them. Well, he is one of them if we play him on the left, but on the right, he's okay. But we have got too many square pegs in round holes. That's Manchester United's issue right here. That has been our issue that's come to light last night. Yoro, De Ligt, and Maguire, says Nath, if Martinez isn't fit. I just feel like if you have Maguire and De Ligt in the same side against Arsenal, I think they'll rip us to pieces. I honestly think they'll rip us to pieces too. There's not enough pace with Maguire and De Ligt. We can't change all of them, so the easiest thing is to change the system, not rocket science. Chappie, I hear you, and I think what we need from Amorim this season is the ability to change things up if it isn't going our way. Has he really displayed that in pre-season? I'm not overly convinced, and I can't sit here and say that I've seen things change. But I just look, the formation's the formation. He ain't changing that. So we're just going to have to trust that the players that we get in are going to be able to do the job for us. And as Wahaha said, like and sub if you're enjoying the show. Help the channel out a lot. A lot, yes. We are, how many are we off? Are we still at 45 away? 44 away, guys. We are 44 away from hitting 1K. It'd be great if we did it tonight. If you haven't done it already, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. We should still be relying. Oh, sorry, we shouldn't still be relying on old Slabhead, but he's the most dependable in the middle. Well, this is the other problem. This is my other problem with De Ligt. De Ligt is so injury prone; it is unreal. Like he went off injured last night for the last 5 minutes. I don't see De Ligt playing a full season. There is a few people we've got in this team now that can't seem to stay fit. And it's hurting us. It is hurting Manchester United. We're trying to build this team. I mean, people still twerking for Xerxes. I'm seeing so many people go, you ain't ready for this front three. And I'm thinking, bro, neither are we. We ain't seen this fucking front three. Like, what's this front three that everyone's saying that everyone's not ready for? Xerxes not kicked the ball. Oh man, it frustrates me. I'd take Fred right now, says Tonk Nash. Nah, come on, mate. Adnan could run down the wing all day long, but he can't do fuck all when he got there. Fair. What else have we got here? Darmash Chef says on Sky had a really good discussion about the players out, saying that it might be time to just take what they can to get moved on, like Arsenal did with a few at the start of Arteta's run. And that's a really, really good comment, Moxie, because I remember we all saw, I don't know if everybody saw what was it called? The Arsenal fucking Amazon feature. But in the end, they were like, yeah, just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. I don't think we're in a situation here where if we were to there are a couple we need to make money on. Anthony is one we need to make money on because of the PSR. But people like Sancho and that, I'd just be spooning these fuckers out now. Like, enough's enough. Enough's enough. While our lads been over there training their asses off in America, fucking Sancho's sat there playing FIFA. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Garnacho sat there doing everything possible to make himself look a bigger knob. I don't think it's possible for Garnacho to make himself look a bigger dickhead than he has the last month. Like, honestly. And I still see Chelsea fans. Some Chelsea fans are gassed for him. I think this guy's a clown. Like, he's a child, an absolute child. I don't think it matters too much who starts in defence. I don't trust the goalkeepers. Well, here's my reply to that, and I'll come on to your question in a second, Andy. I see a lot of people. Let me take a sip of this a second. I needed that. Oh, I see a lot of people saying, put Heaton in goal for Arsenal. I think people need to remember that Heaton is 39 years old. If Manchester United are going to start putting their faith in a 39-year-old goalkeeper, we're fucked. We're fucked. Heaton ain't that guy. Heaton had a decent game against Bournemouth, but we can't be doing that. And do you know what? As much as it disappoints me to say this, we all know that Onana will be fit. It wouldn't surprise me if Onana makes an appearance against Fiorentina on Saturday. It really wouldn't. But for everybody saying Chuck Heaton in goal, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. It just wouldn't work. Andy says, who is your midfield two? My midfield two at the moment? Oh, mate. It terrifies me. I fucking hell. Do you know something? My midfield 2 at the moment, I cannot positively tell you a midfield 2 that I think are good enough for Manchester United. I mean, Bruno's obviously going to start there. Oh, God. Fucking hell. I mean, I'd be more inclined to play Bruno and Mainu as a double pivot and just tell them both, you don't fucking go anywhere near up there. You stay back and let the boys in front of you do something. But at the moment, I don't trust Casemiro to go there. He's walking with a Zimmer frame. He doesn't look fit enough. Ugarte terrifies me, and I mean terrifies me when he picks the ball up from the defence. I look and I go, here we go. That's the ball gone again. Midfield is really, it's terrifying. Lynn says, from Craig Hope's post about 30 minutes ago, Šeško may have chose Newcastle. Well, isn't it odd, though, how when Newcastle apparently put out this, that he's got 48 hours to make a decision, these posts come out. I mean, on Friday, they were saying that he'd chosen Newcastle. Woke up Saturday, there was no news. So I don't know. It's going to be one of them, isn't it? I still think he's mulling over the decision there. MK says, hi lads, had a great time in the US, weather good, food okay, had a game of football with my mates, scored a goal, back to see the doctors, love Mason. Mason did okay yesterday, but Mason's not the answer either. Ben says, I stick Mazraoui at CDM, not ideal, but unless we buy someone, I reckon he's the best option for us in that midfield. But Ben, this is where I go back to. This is Manchester United's problem now, isn't it? Square pegs, round holes. Mazraoui, central defensive midfield. It won't work. It genuinely can't and won't work. I just don't know. It's a bit. It's a terrifying time. I will say that, and I've been Mr. Positive all the way through. And like I said to you guys, if you caught the stream last night, I'm actually really relieved that we didn't go and tonk Everton. Honestly, I'm so glad we didn't, because we could have been coming off the back of this tour going, Ugarte's going to bang. You know, Mainu looks decent. Casemiro had a decent appearance. I think the frailties were shown in 90 minutes last night, just how poor Manchester United's midfield is. And, you know, I had this from Wolfie. I've had it from LB. I've had it from Potts. I've had it from Lawless. Everyone's saying midfield is so bad. We saw it last night. We absolutely saw it. Steve says, Dan, Xerxes, Mainu, Ugarte, Kone, Bruno, Casemiro, which 2 would you keep? Well, Mainu, without a doubt. Kone I keep, Bruno I keep, the rest I get rid of. Everyone knows that I'm not Xerxes' biggest fan. Tom Nash says, if we get a striker and a CDM, we could survive next season. Define the word survive. Do you mean survive in the Prem, or do you mean survive the shit that's coming our way? If we get something for Sancho, go for it. If not, rip his contract up and just get rid of. But the problem is, this is the other thing with Sancho, like, the news coming today that Borussia Dortmund, fucking beg Dortmund FC, are coming out and saying again, we like him. The thing is, Sir Jim, we like him, but we're fucking skint. Yeah, we've just spent all our money on Bellingham. No, the younger Bellingham. Is there anything? No, you don't want to loan him. Oh, well, that's us out. That's the conversations clubs are having about Sancho. No one actually wants to pay for him. Like, nobody wants to pay for him. That's the reality. That is the reality. Evening lagging neighbour. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because I've been... Don't say that. Did you see the police down the road before, Kev? Fuck me. Dan, none of the midfield list appeals to me in Amorim's formation. I don't think they'd... Do you know what? I don't think they'd appeal to me in a 4-3-3 though either, Steve. Like, it's just not good enough. If we don't buy Šeško, we definitely need to buy a top-class midfielder. I agree with that, Andy. You'd probably have to say midfield for obvious reasons. That the most obvious, important part of the team, it's what dictates the games. But having said that, the goalkeeper situation is absolutely dire. Isaac, I tell you, a big up, by the way. I tell you something for nothing. I would keep Onana for another season if it meant we got the midfield sorted. The midfield last night, I would even go as far to say, I'm going to change my mind. I think we need to sort the midfield out before the striker. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't, but last night just fucking terrified me that much. It gave me nightmares last night. I would forgo getting a striker in and I'd sort the midfield out. I genuinely would. I absolutely fucking would. It was abysmal last night. It was terrifying. Here he is, Pete, my man Pete. Fucking you saying that you were fucking baiting me the other night. I was just doing a fat, mate. Why haven't you bid for Šeško yet? Your media have been briefing it for a week now. Do the club even want him? I think, Pete, you know the game. You know the game as well as anybody, mate. They're going to put a bid in. There's no. I think Manchester United have been wanting assurances, haven't they? You know, we've forgone going for Vlahovic, which excites me. We've come out and said Watkins isn't our guy. I don't think that we'd make these moves if we weren't going to go for Šeško all in. I just don't. But as I said just now, I'm of the opinion now we sort the fucking midfield out. I really am of the opinion we sort the midfield out. And big up to Pete, everybody, from Loaded Mag. Make sure you're going and following him on his channel. The guys are absolutely fantastic there. Been a great help to me. Much love to them all. Tom Nash says, survive next season and finish up 6th. Oh, I see what I mean. Okay, see what yeah, we're not finishing 6th. We're not. Tom Nash, I love you, mate. We're not finishing 6th. Not with that midfield. I don't know, Kev. I said to the wife, don't park around the front, mate. It was terrible. It was loads, wasn't there? Melvito, I love that name, Melvito. That is a fucking class name. And the update on Šeško, the update is that we haven't bid yet. Newcastle, as we know, want him. Pete will attest to that in the chat. Newcastle have practically painted it on St. James's Park that we want Šeško. But this is my question, though, Pete. If it's not about United putting a bid in, why hasn't Šeško chosen you already? And that's the thing, isn't it? If it was as cut and dry, this is why I think he's waiting for us to get back off tour. I genuinely do. I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. I'm not even surprised with Šeško as we haven't put a bid in for him again. I'm not fussed about it. Maybe all a ruse to get Newcastle to buy. They want Rasmus, then we go and get Watkins, the master plan. I'm not sure whether that's smart, Moxie. I don't think Manchester United and transfer fucking madness don't go together like that. We don't go together like that. CDM, well, look, CDM straight away was Richard Rios. That's who I wanted. CDM was Richard Rios, but we fucked that. So I want Douglas Luiz. I think Douglas Luiz fits us like a fucking glove, especially if you're having Bruno now. I think he comes in and I think he will absolutely nail that position. But at the moment, I think Manchester United's midfield is the frailty. I think we are weaker in midfield than we are in attack. And that says something. Look how shit we were up front last season. Moxie says exactly why I said CDM has to be the top priority earlier, mate. Moxie, you know what you do, mate? You charm me with these words, and then you get me thinking. Isaac says, yeah, I'd agree with you both on the points wanted to say exactly that about sorting midfield first before a striker, but ran out of words. Honestly, it's a sobering thought. The midfield options. Let's have a look a second, right? Hang on. Let me just see what the vote is. The vote is at 53% for a midfield. 53% of you think that the midfield is a more important position now. So we'll end it on there, 55%. That tells you everything you need to know, chat. That tells you everything you need to know about the dire situation we find ourselves in midfield. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. Ben says, we need to keep De Gea hostage after the Fiorentina game. Make him stay and play next season. Get Keane there. Get Keane there to not let him off the team bus. Well, Keane was the one that wanted to beat the shit out of him for the Spurs game. Sir Alex Ferguson changed tactics for specific games. Seem to have worked. Yeah, but Chappie, and I say this with love. There's never going to be another Sir Alex Ferguson. There's never going to be a manager that did the things he did for this club. We are, as a fan base, so blessed to have had this manager manage us for as long as he did and do the things he was able to do with the team he had. This is a different manager, and I get what you're saying, that, you know, we want a manager that's able to change the tactics, but at the moment, it's just not there. Unless Amorim pulls an absolute fucking madness on the first game of the season against Arsenal and says, whoosh, 4-3-3 halfway through the game, and the teams go, hang on a minute, what the fuck? If Amorim could do that, I think that would bamboozle the shit out of teams. Like the first 40 minutes, go in with the 3-4-1-2-1, and then bang, just flip it up. But we haven't seen it. Liverpool looking scary, to say the least. Liverpool, honestly. Fucking Liverpool. The thing with Liverpool is they have been building this for the last 12 months. Errol will attest to this. Errol sat there on Football's 12th man in January and got absolute pelters from each and every one of us. And we all said, they've let your club down. You know, they've let your club down. You've not brought anyone in. You've not backed Slot. It's a fucking joke. What happens? He just sat there with a smile on his face, and he took it, and he took it, and he took it. What's happened now? They're signing fucking ballers. Ballers. Peter Red says, totally agree with you. The midfield is the most important part. It's an absolute nightmare. I tell you what I'm going to put. Let's do this poll, right? I'm going to do a poll here. Right. Because we all know that the first game of the season is going to be Bruno starting in midfield. I want you to tell me. I'm going to Let me get that. I'm not doing a Q&A. I'm doing a fucking poll. Give me my polls. Start a poll. Here we go. Right. We'll go Ugarte, Menu, and Casemiro. Right. Give me your vote, guys. And the three midfielders I've put, who starts alongside Bruno versus Arsenal? Because we all know Bruno has got one of those starting spots. We know that. As much as it terrifies us, we know that. Šeško, 80 million. You could maybe get Hjulman from that for that from Sporting. A fantastic player, which would work 100%. Bruno's going nowhere. I'm here to tell you this now, guys. This season, Bruno is going absolutely fucking nowhere. We had the chance to sell him. It was heart over head with me. I said, my heart told me, but this guy, you know, he's given so much for us. We need to keep him, build the new United. My head now tells me, Dan, you stupid fucking moron. Take the money. You should have took the money. 100 million would have sorted that midfield out. It would have. 100 million would have sorted that midfield out straight away. You could have got a Hjulman and a Douglas Luiz for that. You could have got a Hjulman and a Richard Rios for that. But United kept the money. We kept the player. And now we're in a little bit of a fucking situation, aren't we? Because we have so many more questions for that first game of the season with our two central midfielders. I don't even know where to do it. And also, here's something else. How many minutes did Bruno play in that central midfield role in the tour? How many minutes? Didn't play many. And Mark, you're absolutely right. He is calamitous, but it's the best of what we got at the moment. I mean, not even starting the midfielders, not even the starting midfielders are that ideal, as you say, Dan. On top of that, you need depth as well. Depth's shocking in midfield. Honestly, I don't think I realised just how bad our midfield was until last night. And I think the reason I've missed it, and I think a lot of fans have missed it, is because we've been so enamoured with having nobody up front to put the ball in the back of the net that actually we've negated the fact that our midfield has just been walked through time and time again. Yeah, I saw that one, Pete. Yeah, well, yeah, they're going to be pushing, aren't they? They're going to be pushing. Dan, we can't put Bruno in midfield. He weakens our fucking speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth. Leipzig want a bidding war. It's been reported today, and that's why they're asking for more money. Arsenal fans saying Šeško agent is a prick too. I saw this, Pete. I saw this a couple of days ago. Šeško's an exciting player, and like I said on my stream a few week ago, neither of our teams can afford to lose him. Neither of our teams can afford to lose this bidding war. We can't. If you don't get him, you're going to have to do an emergency, go out there and find someone else. If we don't get him, it'll be Højlund up top for the season. Simple as that. That's where I see this battle going down to. Tom Nash says, if we don't get Šeško, go for Vlahovic and get a midfielder now. We can't get Vlahovic. He's shite, Tom Nash. He's an older version of Rasmus. And yes, thank you, Pete, my man. Thank you very much. Make sure you are smashing the likes, people. What Manchester United squad number are we away from 1,000 subscribers, guys? Let me know. To be fair, we are pretty bad in all three. We know where Manchester United's problem are now, but the problem we've got is I don't think we've got the time, and we haven't got the fucking time to sort this out. It's now the 4th of fucking August. What are we? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days away from first game of the season, guys. 13 days away. 13 days. Arsenal are looking at this team and just licking their fucking lips. It's sobering. And we live opposite a Liverpool fan. We do, don't we? If you look at United last season, one of their main problems was being overrun in midfield. And so far, they haven't done anything to address it. Very concerning for me personally. I think, honestly, I just worry that Manchester United are thinking, get Cunha in, get Bryan in, get a striker in, and we'll just outscore teams. We won't. We absolutely won't. Ben says wouldn't choose either of them. Santos says Bruno looks like a headless chicken stuck in midfield with Ugarte and Mainu is being wasted, being stuck there too. I felt sorry for him. I'm going to say this now. I felt sorry for Mainu last night. I don't think Mainu was the problem last night. I think Mainu looked worse because he was next to Ugarte. Every time we lost the ball, it was because Ugarte couldn't keep the ball between his fucking feet. He got caught so many times trying to dribble the ball out. There was the one moment where the ball came over. He tried to head it onto the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And this is against Everton. And I'm not being disrespectful to Everton there because, look, we didn't finish. We finished below them last season. But what I am saying is this new Manchester United, this positivity that I see so many people on their socials tell me I should be more positive. That last night should have told you everything you need to know about where Manchester United's problem lie. The poll is hard down. I know their weaknesses far too well. It's picking one with the fewest weaknesses, hardly any strengths. I agree. I absolutely agree. If it was me at United, after already signing two high-scoring players, Premier League proven forwards, a striker wouldn't be the highest priority. The midfields need drastically improving. Where did Asensio go after loan to Villa? Didn't he go to Fenerbahce or something like that? I'm pretty sure he went there. 44 squad number. A Toby Collier away. Love that. What CDM would you sign? As I said, it would be a Douglas Luiz. That's who I look for. The money that Douglas Luiz is going for, Manchester United should be all over that. You can't put Mainu and Bruno together. Teams will just push straight through us. That's why I said, Andy, if you were going to do it, it would have to be a double pivot and they would have to be told you don't go fucking past the halfway line. Simple. But again, like, who else would you put there? Who else would you put there? And get those subscriptions in. Yes, Pete. Make sure you are subscribing, guys. As I say, we are on that road to 1K. We are getting closer and closer each and each day. So make sure you're doing your bit to help the channel. We've been going for just over a month and a half now. If we can get that 1K in before the first game of the season, that would be absolutely buzzing. And for around the same 80 million, Šeško, we could possibly get Le Mans, Douglas Luiz and Watkins. I know which option I'd have. Yeah, but this is the problem, Moxie, and I've said this before. Our biggest issue now that we have been linked with Šeško, and everyone knows that Šeško is going for 70, 80 million. The biggest problem we've got now is clubs know that we will spend that money if we have to. So what that does when you go for a Le Mans, where you go for a Douglas Luiz, where you go for an Ollie Watkins, is straight away they go, yeah, how much you want to offer us 50 million for Watkins? Are you taking the piss? I saw you on Sky Sports News offering 70. Yeah, fuck up, put the phone down. That's where we are. That is where Manchester United are now. We've put ourselves in a bit of a situation where clubs now know that we will spend the money if we have to. A Mads Tim away. That is a flash from the past. A Mads Tim away. That is a proper flash from the past. Love that, Ben. Love that. The fact that they haven't addressed it after it being such a glaringly obvious problem last season, you would have thought United would have had targets lined up to sort it at the start of the window. Yes and no. Yes and no, Isaac. I think they were so focused on getting the 210s sorted that Manchester United had this idea. They had this idea in their heads, and call it negligence, call it naivety, call it just downright fucking moronic. But they thought in their heads, Anthony will go for 50 million, Sancho will go for 25 million, Garnacho will get 50, 60 million for, Rashford will get 35 million for. That's four straight away. Malacia we can send somewhere if, just off he goes. They thought that those four players were going to get us just around about 100 million, 120 million. And what's happened is, because we're shit at selling players, we are now in a situation where we can't spend the money that we think we have. Because the club's accountants are going, look, yeah, go out and buy Šeško. Look, if you want to, we'll make it work. However, just remember, a problem you put at the back of the fucking cupboard today will come out to haunt you in 6 or 7 months' time. United have done it all wrong. They've done it all wrong. I mean, what else did Barada say? I did write this down. Where are we? He did say we have to do a lot of multitasking. We have a team back home led by Jason Wilcox and a recruitment team that is working around the clock to ensure we continue to find opportunities to strengthen our squad. There are lots of late calls and early morning meetings to make sure we stay on top of that. Let me tell you something, right? I used to work in the mortgage game about 15 years ago. And my boss, Gary Harper, shout out to Gary Harper, one of the best mortgage advisors ever. Every Friday, we would go and play badminton from 2 until 5. And every Friday, we'd have the same emails from people saying, oh, you got any idea on the application yet? Yeah, we're busy on it now. We're in meetings about it now. We never did it. And I don't understand what Barada says when he says that we are constantly having, what does he say? Early morning meetings to make sure we stay on top of that. Well, how are these fucking meetings going? Like, what are they saying in these fucking meetings? Morning, Jace. Morning, mate. Striker? Yeah. Who do you reckon? Šeško? Yeah. Do you want to call him? Nah, we'll hang fire. We'll hang fire. I need to know that he really wants to. Hang on, let me get Christopher Vivel on. Chris. Yo, Vivelster. Have you spoke to him yet? He's still not decided. Okay, yeah. Keep me posted. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Bye. Meeting tomorrow morning about it. We'll see how we get on. That's how it feels. How it feels, and it's like I feel like they've basked in the glory of us getting Bryan and Cunha. They've utilised the excitement from that on the tour. Now is the time that they need to be held accountable for this. Now we need to know what the idea is. We're interested in Šeško, as Pete said several times. We're just waiting to put the bid in. Why aren't we putting the fucking bid in? It's the 4th of August. It's not the 4th of July. Like, where's the continuity here? Where's the forward thinking here? You know, I feel like last night has really opened my eyes to just how far off we are from being able to be a team that can really push on. Like and subscribe. Yes, thank you, Melvito. By the way, I fucking love that name, Melvito. How's the poll doing? So at the moment, 57% of you are saying Casemiro. That poll will still keep going. Only 23 votes in there. Get your votes in. I want to see what you think about that. And surely with Bryan and Cunha, with a striker in front, Mainu and Bruno shouldn't need to wander all over. That's their job. And that's why, Anthony, I love that comment. Why didn't we see Bruno and Mainu play together more? Why did we see that chop and changing in central midfield? It's incredibly obvious that is where we're at our weakest. Honestly, worst thing that could have happened to us was beating Bournemouth 4-1. Because as soon as we beat Bournemouth 4-1, you had people going, oh yeah, but Bournemouth finished fucking well last season. Bournemouth looked decent. Yeah, they did, but they've just lost 3 of their players. They've just lost 3 of their best players. They're going to be more poor, aren't they? They're going to look dodgy now. Guys, come on. We could have got Rios and Luis. Simple as that. I agree. Bruno wants to be the head cook and bottle washer, trying to do everything. He does. And this is a criticism of Bruno. Can't do it all on his own. And last night, I thought, if anybody saw his clash, was it Ndoi that he had the clash with? So fucking pathetic. Didn't need to do it. Pre-season friendly. Did not need to do it. Could have easily got sent off. That's the Bruno I don't like. We are shit at selling, but we are trying to sell shit covered in glitter. Love that comment. Keep hitting the likes and subscribe all. Yes, make sure you are. Let's get these likes up and let's get these subscriptions up. Amorim needs to pull out a couple of rabbits out of his hat soon. Watkins would be a start. Watkins ain't coming to United. I'll tell you that for certain now. Watkins ain't coming to United. We fucked that one. Manchester United absolutely have fucked that one because we thought we were Billy Big Bollocks and we have this idea in our head and I don't know what unless they're being told something by the player, this is where I worry because we think that we have this thought that apparently Šeško is going to choose us and we've seen Laurie Whitwell, we've seen people saying, oh, he's favouring United, but I haven't seen United put a bid in yet. We fucked it with Watkins. Watkins, I think, would have been the best solution for us. I've stayed true to that the entire way through this. I've said to everybody that would listen that him up top for the next 3 seasons is a better fit for Manchester United than bringing in a Šeško who is 22, is still going to be learning his trade. I think we fucked it with Watkins. I really do. I'd be amazed if we went back in there and got him. I'd be absolutely amazed. Bruno will make or break Amorim this season. Mark my words. Do you know something, Andy? That comment is absolutely brilliant. I'm starring that comment. United should be competing at the sharp end, as you say, Dan. It just seems incredibly naive. Really poor planning in the boardroom of a club that should be one of the best in the country. It should, but Manchester United, so many times, folks. How many times have we been shown up in a transfer window? How many times have we been shown up trying to sell a player? How many times have we been shown up trying to buy a fucking player? We have these little moments where we'll bring a player in and we'll go, do you know something? Actually, hang on a minute. It's a madness. I did a video on Friday saying, it's working. It's working because your head's just fucking turned by results that mean nothing. These pre-season friendly games, the 2 wins, West Ham, Bournemouth, because of last night's result, meant nothing. What it did is just showed us our frailties. It just showed us where exactly we are going to get absolutely pummeled this season. We ain't going to get pummeled because of goals. The goalkeeper lets goals in anyway. We are going to get absolutely pummeled in midfield. And Manchester United are in a big, serious danger here of messing this up and missing out on the chance to close the gap on the likes of Villa, who have done nothing at the moment, on the likes of Bournemouth, who haven't signed anybody after getting absolutely torn apart, Brentford, Brighton, who else? There's so many. Spurs. They're messing it up massively. And as much as I think Amorim should be given the time to do something here, if we get torn apart early on in the season, Amorim will walk. He'll walk. He'll go. Dan, buying a striker isn't like buying a new car where you buy what you see. But what is the actual minimum requirement for an 80 million striker to be worth that at Man United? Well, it's a good question, Steve. That's why I'd have gone for an Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins would have been the perfect choice for us. The perfect choice for us for what we need now. Manchester United, right? Like I said to you at the start of the video, guys, right? And I know I'm going over old ground here, but Aiden Heaven is a great player in the making, but he isn't what we need now. Diego Leon is a very exciting player, but he isn't what we need now. Kone is a fantastic talent, but he isn't what we need now. And if I go through that team, there are several youngsters that we don't need now. Does Šeško fall into that same bracket? Does he? And I've been very, very consistent with this. Watkins would have been the perfect person to come in. The perfect person. Honestly, I can't say that enough. We fucked it. We fucked it with that one. Actually, I thought Amorim would have toned down Bruno's outbursts on the field. Guess I was wrong. Good comment. Good comment. I know more agents' names than players. They're fucking everywhere at the moment, aren't they? When they are back at Carrington tomorrow, it needs to be a full steam ahead for the next 10 to 12 days with outgoings and signings. Put up or shut up time for Barada and the recruitment team now. And Moxie, you hit the nail again, bang on the head with that comment. There are going to be more and more questions asked now. Now the tour's over. Now that buzz of them being on there. And how many fucking times have we seen pictures of Xerxes? Yeah, woo, yeah. Unless you're on the fucking field, mate, putting the ball in the back of the net, I ain't got time to see you, Xerxes. Yeah? I ain't got time. You've taken far too much of the fucking media time up. And what are you famous for at the moment in this pre-season? Apart from a flicked goal into an empty net with no one marking you. It's like, fucking hell, come on. They absolutely need to get this sorted. They need to have been... The conversation on the plane should have been, how shit were we last night? Like, Everton absolutely spanked us in that midfield. How shit were we? Right, let's get together now. What do you mean? What, Jason's got a meeting in the morning? Yeah, cancel that. We're having it now. That's what we needed. They won't sell to a rival for Champions League rival as they raise the price. Who do you mean, Jamie? Do you mean Villa? Because we ain't rivals for Villa in Champions League. I was thinking more Europa League and Conference. Villa rubbing their hands together thinking we now have 80 million spare for Watkins. I don't think we'd have to pay 80 million for Watkins. I'll say that right now. I don't think it would be that. I think we could still, if we really wanted him, get him for sort of 55, 60. But we've shit the bed there because we've shown our true colours there. We've shown our hand. Looking for just 43 new subscribers, by the way, people, to smash that 1,000. Won't cost you a single penny. Thank you, Donny. Yes, Let's get those subscribers up, guys. Let's see if we can hit where we need to hit. That would be phenomenal. How many years since Fergie left? Too many fucking years, mate. Mark says we've been crying out for years for a specialist CDM. Let's hope those early morning meetings are trying to produce one. This is the thing, though, guys. I genuinely don't know what they talk about in these meetings. How's Mrs. Wilcox? Yes, you're right. She's still got the verruca. Oh, bless her. What are we doing in these meetings? Do you know? And the sickening thing is, I still have to, every day I go onto social media, look at the links that, like, Donnarumma to United. Donnarumma fancies the Manchester United project. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It's just shit. It's shit having our name banded around these world-class players when we're struggling to put the money together to bring in a Šeško. And I don't know where it ends at the moment with United. I don't. Newcastle will give Šeško the West wages who wants now, as they have no plans to move on with no Isak by the looks of things. He knows they have it as we're ready to offer Isak. What's that? He knows they have it as we're ready to offer Isak 300k. If Šeško goes to Newcastle, can it really be deemed as a money orientated decision? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure on that. I think Šeško will look at United and think, yeah, I'm going to be the starter there. They're going to love me there. I'm the player to go there and change it. But Newcastle Champions League, yeah, okay, they've shit the bed this transfer window. Pete won't mind me saying that. But as far as processes go, who are in a better situation here, Newcastle or Manchester United? I think Newcastle this summer have just found out what it's like when people know you've got the money. I just worry. I worry about the Šeško deal. Red flags for your manager, Dan. He don't even see it. There's plenty in there. There's plenty. After watching the game last night, realistically, how many games are we from winning the first 6? How many games are we from winning the first 6? What do you mean by that, Jerry? How many games are we? Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, Jerry. How many games are we winning from the first 6? Fucking hell. I think we get 7 points from our first 5 games. I genuinely do. I'm not sitting here, Mr. Confident. I wasn't confident at the start either, to be fair. Surely in terms of recruitment, you should always undervalue players you're trying to sell to allow for a contingency to avoid lacking funds for your affordable identified targets. Yeah, you should. You should. The other news as well that come out today, and to coin a Roy Keane phrase here, you know, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. People saying that Anthony's a nice guy and that, you know, he just wants to play football. The report's coming out today that he is now willing to reject. Fucking hell, my hair's a right mess, man. He's willing to reject the Saudi teams to wait for Betis. He only wants Betis. Now, Betis, as we know, don't want to pay a fucking penny for him. They want him over there on loan. They don't want to pay a transfer fee. This is where I would be a bastard here, okay? And I would say to Betis, Real Beg FC, we ain't having him. And Anthony, you ain't going to the World Cup, mate, because you won't be playing for us, and we're damn sure not loaning you to them for them to have you for fucking nothing. This is where Manchester United need to be strong. I would absolutely be saying to Anthony now, you're looking forward to the World Cup. It's in America next year. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you ain't going. Because to go there, you've got to be playing all the time. You ain't going to be playing in this team, and you ain't going to Betis if they don't pay the money for you. Betis are trying to be so snaky with this. Like, Betis are trying their absolute hardest to get the player to just wait and wait and wait, in the eventuality being that Manchester United let him go out there on loan. This is the first battle now. We've done the Rashford thing. This is the first battle United have to win. They have to. If we get our pants pulled down by Real fucking Betis in a transfer, all the hard work that Barada and fucking Wilcox are constantly going on about, it's undone. It's undone in one transfer. We are Manchester United. We should not be bullied by Real Betis when it comes to transfer, because Real Betis their chairman, to be fair to him, has openly said, we ain't paying a transfer fee. We can't afford that. You know, we'll have him on loan. and we think the player wants to come to us. So we'll wait. We're going to wait and go deep into the transfer window. And then at the end, if they can't sell him, we're ready to take him. You've got to be strong here. You've got to be. If I am Wilcox or I am Barada, I am marching into Carrington when I get back. I'm saying, Anthony, yo, Spinaroonie, over here. Yeah. You ain't going to the World Cup, mate, because you ain't playing here unless you go and accept a transfer somewhere else. This player power that constantly seems to rear its head at Manchester United. I've said this before. How many times in history did a player go, oh, I'm not moving there, I don't like it? But how many times did the club used to say, well, you either fucking go there or you ain't playing? And yes, Sancho's the separate one here because he would just sit there and go, oh, that's fine, yeah. New FIFA's coming out, I'll just sit and play that. I'll chill, yeah, that's fine. Where is the balls with these clubs? Where is the big balls in Manchester United to go to these players and say, either ship up or fuck off? I just, honestly, it really irritates me. Clubs like Real Betis, clubs like Borussia Dortmund, and clubs like fucking Barcelona. Barcelona pulled our pants down with Rashford. Yeah, we'll take him on loan, we'll pay his wages, and if he does all right, we'll pay 25 million at the end of it. Brilliant. Yeah, cool. Whatever. Just pay it now, you cretins. And as I say, with Betis and Dortmund, both two clubs are like, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. We really like the players, but we can't afford it. Can you just send them to us on loan? Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's send players out there and help them become better clubs whilst we're still paying for that player. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Oh, dear. The only way you play Bruno in this team is by changing the formation, says Andy. Andy, I think you've hit the nail on the head with Bruno. Bruno doesn't fit this formation, but we knew this last season. We could see it in the season that he's just had. You know, as much as he was the only player that really did anything of any note for us, doesn't work, does it? Yep, Villa. I'm not trying to put you all on a downer, but looking at last season's top four, are United's top four are spending? United are going to end up being left behind. Yeah, but Isaac, my retort to that is United aren't even in that race. Like, gone are the days where you look at us as being someone on the same level as a Man City, as an Arsenal, as a Chelsea, as a fucking Liverpool, as a Newcastle. We're not. We are so far behind that at the moment. Fucking love Robina. What else have we got? Steve says it's supposed to be Šeško choosing clubs or his agent Jerry Maguire influence him. Love that comment. If it was the other way around, Dan, how would people be framing it? You know, they'd be saying it's because United paid him big wages, like they did with Bryan, which was all shite anyway. Yeah, it's probably true. Probably true. 40 million loan fee for Anthony. Yeah, I'd accept that. Cloughy would be class with Rasmus. When you get the ball, son, give it to someone who can fucking play. Do you know something? Let me just tell you something now. First game of the season against Arsenal, Rasmus Højlund is starting up front. Believe that. Rasmus Højlund is starting up front. Someone said to me, I think it was it on TikTok or was it on here? Imagine Rasmus scores the winner and does the Gyökeres celebration. That would be beautiful. But mark my words, we're starting with Rasmus up top. And mark my words, that midfield is going to be absolutely shite when we play. It's not good enough. And what's this? Yep, I am waiting on Liverpool meltdown. We need to outspend the bottom 10. And we have at the moment, though, Anthony. We have outspent the bottom 10. Like United, let me just have a look at this a second. Premier League spending. Let's have a look. Premier League spending this summer. Let me see if I can bring it up. United are fifth. Let me share this screen. Let me just zoom in a minute. Let me share my screen for you. Where are we? Share the screen and everything will be all right. Right, and here we go. There we go. Have a look at this. Let me just zoom in a bit more for you, folks. I mean, fucking hell. Fucking hell. We're only just above Sunderland. Leeds have spent So if you look at that, so Fulham, Palace, Villa fucking haven't spent anything. Then you got Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, West Ham. We're the 5th highest spenders, and this is the worrying thing here. We are the 5th highest spenders, and other than 2 attacking midfielders, our team still looks as fucking dire as it did last season. United are the only club in the world that could do this. United are the only club in the world that can do that. Only club. 3-4-2-1 is not a commonly used formation. Then in itself worries me. Sorry to keep on about Amorim's tactics. Chappie, there is no problem with that at all. There is no problem with that at all. That's why we do this channel, so that people can have their opinions and voice them. Have they made a new bid for let's have a look. Let's have a look. I can't see anything unless I'm missing it. Of Newcastle. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's just fucking bullshit, isn't it? Newcastle have made an improved bid to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Šeško, and that is David Ornstein. There we go, guys. There we go. So now you've got me pissed off. Now you've got a pissed off Dan in the house. Now you've got a fucking furious Dan in the house. We have been too busy posting selfie after selfie after selfie on social media. We haven't even put the first bid in, and they dropped the news that Christopher Vivell knows him very well, and he's got so much respect for him. He's going to bring. We're being left behind. Newcastle will get this done now, unless Manchester United tomorrow drop an absolute bomber, and they go in and they outbid Newcastle, and the player agrees terms already with United. I think this ends up. I genuinely feel like United now have missed out on Šeško. I genuinely feel like it now. Up to 80 million, yeah. I don't necessarily think it's about spending the bottom 10 if United can be incredibly smart with their recruitment, like the smaller clubs. You could bring in more players for less. I agree with that, Isaac. Fuck Šeško, stick with Højlund for this season and fucking play Cunha and Mbeumo at 10 and try and get a top CDM. Well, this will be the question now. This will be the question that Manchester United find themselves having to answer. And the simple question now is this. If you don't get a Šeško and you've already shit the bed when it comes to Watkins, we absolutely now have to go out there and get 2 decent midfielders. And already, because we've wasted our time, Manchester United have wasted their time with the Šeško situation, which we have, because we've had all the flirting, we've had all of the, he's interested in coming to play for Manchester United, even if they don't have Champions League football. Yeah, it's all fair and well doing that, but if you don't put a fucking bid in for him, then what are we doing? What are we doing? So I feel like United may have absolutely balls this up. Like I said, there is still a chance that they surprise all of us and that tomorrow we go with the Manchester United match the bid. And you know what, Isaac? I think you're absolutely spot on. I don't think United can afford that, even if they could. It takes a huge portion of funds away from the rest of the team, which is definitely needed in most areas, in my opinion. Manchester United have been linked with the guy, but we can't afford him. We can't. I mean, Simon Stone came out and said, there's money left in the bank, don't worry. Simon Stone, who's in with the club, of course he's going to come out and say that. Spin FC starts again. Ay, caramba. MK says United go shopping for a leg of lamb and end up with a turkey. I'd rather a turkey over lamb. Midfielder now that we're not in for Šeško. It's so bad. It's so bad, folks. Positive talks between clubs with Benjamin Šeško. Let me just have a look. Let me just see if there's anything with Ornstein. So yeah, I'll share the screen, guys. Let me share the screen. Let's get upset together. Let's get upset together. Share the screen. Here we go. Let me just zoom in a little, zoom in. That's a bit too fucking zoomy, that is. Right, let's have a look at this. There we go. Feast your eyes on that. Newcastle United make improved bid for RB Leipzig for Benjamin Šeško. New offer worth at least 80 million after positive talks between clubs and with the 22-year-old striker. Nothing agreed, but Leipzig currently favour Newcastle United and no United proposal yet. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It fucking baffles me. It absolutely baffles me. And yeah, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. Look, Newcastle, if they go out and get him, absolutely fine. I said to Pete on our Football's 12th Man WhatsApp group that I always wanted Watkins, but I think that we've absolutely fucked this. I think we fucked this. I'm starting to get the feeling that United were just posturing on this deal the whole time without the intention to do a deal at all. And if they have done that, then Manchester United have ballsed it completely. Because as Andy says here, how much time have we wasted on transfers this season? How much time have Manchester United done the supposed interested, fed the good feelings out amongst the journalists? It just... Maybe we saw Rasmus look decent once after 2 years and said we don't need a striker. Oh, fuck it. You wouldn't bet against it, would you? Come on, guys, cheer up. We've just won a cup. That's the best I've got, lol. Fucking hell. How can we have people in Leipzig working on a deal but not submit anything? I think it's all just waffle. I think it is. And I tell you what, right? And I'm looking forward to this one as well, to be fair. I tell you what, right? Before we finish this, I'll tell you this. Manchester United will absolutely come out with the comment, for the money they wanted, we didn't think he was good enough to do it. And that's fine if that's true, but I feel like Manchester United have absolutely ballsed up every part of this. I think, for the record, I think they heard the little rumours that Vivel and him were close, and I think they looked at the fact that it was being spun that he would play for Manchester United at Champions League, and I think the arrogance come out in Manchester United, and they said, he wants to play for us. Well, just tell him to hang fire. Tell him to hang fire. We'll look under the sofa. We'll check the washing machine. We'll check outside. We'll coin up all our dough, and then we'll see what we can do. The fact that Manchester United haven't put a bid in for it pisses me off. And you know something? I will say, Moxie, I get what you're saying, but we've wasted time on another player here. Like, if this, remember, Manchester United can't do more than one signing at once. If we genuinely are interested in Šeško and we miss out on this deal, well, the whole thing starts again. It's like a game of Monopoly. You roll and you end up in jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Do not get out until you roll a double. United, we've ballsed it. Unless tomorrow there is a madness dropped and Ornstein or Ben Jacobs or Fabrizio Romano goes, boom, Manchester United put in a bid matching Newcastle's. It wouldn't surprise me if this deal for Šeško is done by the end of the week. I genuinely mean that. Because, fucking hell, it's so annoying. He says, they've said that it's up to the player. They've said it's up to the player, and I get that. And there were things mentioned, like, what was it that they said he was looking at? I can't remember what it was they said that they were looking at, but it was something to do like he wanted to check how he felt, how his family felt, the money, Champions League competition. I can't remember what the other one was. I wonder if this is true, and if they have gone back in, Newcastle will only have gone back in with an increased bid because Šeško's given them the word that he wants to go there. Because it would have been pointless. Because Newcastle are in the same boat as United, desperately need a striker. So buckle up, guys. It's going to be a bumpy fucking road this summer, I tell you. How can we have put people in? Yeah, I think we've just gone through that one to Anthony. Andrea says it doesn't matter what Leipzig want. If Šeško chooses us, everything is still open. I think it does, though, because I saw some reports saying that if he tried to do that they'd just keep him. Leipzig would say, no, you either go to the club that we've accepted or we're keeping you. If we had a time machine and tried to speak to someone at United, what year would you go to and who would you speak to? You know. I would go back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after his second season and say, Ollie, you've done well. It's not your time anymore. Let's move it on. Let's get someone else in. If I was Watkins, I'd say I'm not going to be your second choice. And Watkins has every right to do that. Every right to do that. Villa will put the price up, says Jamie. And I just really hope that it's more a case of them backing Amorim, who never wanted Šeško. He wants a proven striker. It shouldn't be down to Vavell anyway. It shouldn't be down to him, Moxie, but that's kind of what he's there for. He's head of recruitment. I mean, he said he's there to identify these players, isn't he? United do it to us again, says Andy. And that's the problem though, Moxie. I think this is the market that United are shopping in now. I don't think they can afford to do deals for a Premier League proven scorer. Watkins is probably the only one. Guys, it's been a sobering night, hasn't it? You know, with the news coming in about Šeško, it's been a sobering night. However, let's see what they've got for us. Obviously, they're back from their tour tomorrow, I think. Get ready for the usual bullshit of if. Look, there's twists and tails in this Šeško deal. There's twists and tails. It would not surprise me one bit if there's a bid goes in for United from United tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me. Yes, Peter, we've seen that. We've seen that. I tell you what, Peter. I tell you what, mate. Didn't hear a bloody word off you. I'm not even going to. Do you know what? I'm not even going to dignify it. I know what you're doing. No, but do you know something? In all seriousness there, Pete, I think, like I said before, and Newcastle fans, if there's a few of you still in, this was an important transfer for Newcastle and for Manchester United because the end product for both of us, and I know Manchester United are fucked with this midfield, but the end product for both of us was who else was there out there? Who else was our plan B? Because whoever lost out on this deal, they ain't going to go out there and get a proven player to do anything. Watkins won't go anywhere now. Watkins will not go anywhere. We are a Pogba away from 1K subscribers. Is that Pogba in his first squad number? Let's have a wee look. Yeah, that's a good one. That is, Moxie. That's a very good one. Yeah, mate. Honestly, yeah, I hear you. I go back to 2005 and tell Sir Alex, don't endorse the Glazers. You're making a big mistake. Fucking hell, honestly. And sorry, lads, but Jackson to United, here we go, is coming. Paul, I disagree. And no, I don't want anyone to get any concern with that comment. Because Šeško's 70 million, 80 million. Fucking Jackson, for some reason, is 80 million. Now, there is no way that they are going to they're going to chuck the Garnacho thing in there. Garnacho's pure profit. They ain't going to do that. I'm not even bothered. I don't even think Jackson comes anywhere near us. But, Paul, I like what you're trying to do there. I'd love Watkins to United, says David Rush. Guys, if you're new, by the way, there's a few newbies in here. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the like button. We are close to 1K followers, guys. So let's see if we can get that done. Yeah, it was. Oh, no, please not. Don't worry, Steve. Don't worry. Romano has confirmed that our stance are still the same. Let's go to Romano. Imagine if I actually had him on the phone. Where are we? Fabrizio. Manchester United confirmed against Leipzig that they will bid if Šeško picks them. Fucking hell. Like, it just... in what world are Manchester United thinking that we're that club that can do that? Yeah, we'll bid for you, Šeško, but you've got to say you want us first. That's just so bad. And Bomba, Šeško to Newcastle. Is it done? I don't think it's done, is it? I don't think it's done yet. I think it's just bid. Let's have a look. 80 million plus 10. Fucking hell. Pete, are you still here? Pete, are you still here in the chat? Are you still here, mate? 90 million, man. Fucking hell. 90 million. That is a lot of fucking dough. 90 million. That makes me feel a little bit better. We couldn't spend that money on Šeško. Absolutely not. Yeah, that changes everything. That changes everything for me. Newcastle can gladly have him. Yeah. Honestly, right, chat. I'm changing everything here. I'm changing everything I've been saying. All right. Forget about that. I still think United have royally fucked this up. But let me tell you this: we are not spending £90 million on a fucking striker. Well, 78 million, 90 million euros. We ain't doing that. No chance. That's too much money. In fact, let's put the fucking poll to work. Let's finish the poll that we had. So 45% of you have gone with Mainoo starting alongside Bruno against Arsenal. New poll. Let's get this going. Should we match the money Newcastle have offered? Simple. Should we match the money Newcastle have offered? I don't think we should. I honestly don't think we should. I'm at peace now. I'm at peace. I am absolutely at peace with that. United have been here before. Like we've spent that money on players before, and it's gone absolutely Pete Tong. United willing to spend 200 million on 3 attackers. Who's the other one? Southlink's 2. Who's the other one? I think that's the problem. We're not willing to spend the money on Šeško. That's why we haven't bid for him. There's a lot of cash with a sell-on. Give Šeško to Newcastle. Man U skint. Just need 10 weeks to sell fringe players. I love how Newcastle fans are all of a sudden coming for me. 78 million. Too much money. Yeah, that price is too much. We would have to bid higher. Anthony, that's a great comment. United would have to match or outbid that. Fuck that. I'm sat here now saying, forget about it. Šeško, I'm already over it. Ta-ta. And I think I've just, oh God, is that here we go with David Luiz to fucking Forest? Oh my God, I think I'm about to have a fucking meltdown on here. If that's fucking Douglas, not David, that's Douglas Luiz to, that's Douglas Luiz to Forest, I'm going to lose my shit. Oh, God, I think it is. I think Douglas Luiz has chosen fucking Forest as well. And now the end is near. Fucking hell. Pull out and spend the money on midfield. Thank you, Jamie. Much appreciated. No poll needed. No fucking way, says Moxie. Can we even afford to match it? Nath. I mean, we go back to, was it just posturing with United? No, we want to hear him. We want to hear Šeško say he wants United. So Rasmus and Josh it is. Cunha Matata has a very good ring to it. We ain't getting Matata, no chance. Including Šeško, please. We're happy to get anyone, mate, at the minute. It's not about how great the club you were. It's about how rich you are. The game is finished. Sad. You can't say that, though, Chappie, because we've done that. That's why we're in the mess that we are now, because we've done that, isn't it, though, to be fair? Yeah, match the shit you threw nearly that at Højlund. I mean, look, United do have the golden goose, don't they? Rasmus Højlund is someone that apparently Leipzig really like. Does Rasmus Højlund hold the key to all of this? Does Rasmus Højlund hold the key to it? Oh, it's so bad. I can't believe this. No offense, but Forest actually needed it more. I guess we're going to focus on midfielders then. Šeško to Newcastle, going to be a done deal soon. Yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked in it. Believe and receive, guys. Šeško will be in red. Akko's back in the house. Akko's back in the house. Guys, what a fucking night. We have gone from it being miserable because of the performance last season to now Newcastle going in and upping the bid for Šeško. Newcastle are intensifying their efforts, but the player hasn't decided yet. Manchester United is still eager to sign him, with both clubs vying for his approval. For the Newcastle fans that are in the house, let me ask you an honest question. Let me ask you an honest question here. If Šeško comes out and says he wants Manchester United, and and he turns you down, I feel like that could be catastrophic. Like, I don't envisage it because we're not even putting the fucking bid in. Fuck me. Honestly, what a night. If United have wasted... Shivang, do you know how I'm reading this? If United have wasted all this time just to not have the player and not focus on any other deals, and it's another shambles from the club. Never a more truer word spoken there. Like and sub if you're enjoying the show. Help the channel out a lot. Yes, make sure you are liking and subscribing, guys. Make sure we are battling to get to 4K to 1K. We are 41 subscribers away, guys. So if you are new at the moment on the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We are literally we're almost there. We're almost there. We're getting there. Chappie says, I don't think Šeško is worth it. Still an outside chance we get Šeško on gentlemen's for 60 million. The gentleman's agreement in football's done, isn't it? It's done. Walter or Samu for me now. If I was United, two good, significantly cheaper options. Yeah, but the problem is Manchester United, because we've been focusing and the talk has been going out there about Šeško for so long. Guys, remember, we are 13 days away from our first game of the season. 13 days away from Højlund, regardless, starting up top for Manchester United. It's not great. It really isn't great. It isn't. We need to quickly now get our attention to a midfielder and a potent, experienced striker, and that should be a minimum, Dan. Yeah, but again, I'll read what Barada said, and this is class. We have to do a lot of multitasking. We have a team back home led by Jason, a recruitment team that is working around the clock to ensure we continue to find opportunities to strengthen our squad. There are lots of late calls and early morning meetings to make sure we stay on top of that. Stay on top of what? Stay on top of what? Like, what are we fucking doing here? Akko says it's been raining all day and affecting the internet connection. Glad to catch up. Yeah, glad to see you, mate. Aaron says, money talks, mate. We're losing Isaac, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I hear it. There we go. See? Game recognises game, Shivang. Harry Amasawe is at the 41. And there's no gentleman in football, only rats, or better said, behind football. I agree. Yes, they also inflate the prices now as well in any deal. Like you said, this is the thing now. Manchester United, no matter who we go for, because we were interested, they know that we're going to potentially have the money to do it. So an Arsenal first game might as well pull our pants down now, lol. Fucking hell. Oh, guys, it's been a stream and a half tonight. But do you know what? This has been therapy tonight. This has been therapy. I feel like we've got a lot off our chests. It's Monday today. Tomorrow is a new day. Hopefully we wake up tomorrow and Manchester United have offered Rasmus Højlund and we've got it for cheaper. I don't believe so. But I will say this. Manchester United, Barada, Jason Wilcox. In fact, Wilcox, if you're watching this, do me a favour, grab a pen. You can write this down in your meeting. Don't fucking match the deal. Go and spend it on midfielders. Love and respect to each and every one of you. Love spending time with you. I will be back at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. We will see if we've got more positive news back then. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for your support. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new. Other than that, Dan United, Brian Brigade, Oota! We got to sign a fucking player.